Welcome to the Aura Evolution Podcast, a sacred place for you to return home to your soul. I'm Helen Yeplan, founder of Helen Creates Beauty and the author of the Aura Color Wheel. This podcast is a sanctuary from soul discovery to soul mastery. Each week, we explore aura wisdom, spirit connection, and energy tools to help you embody your light and live your soul's purpose with clarity, joy, and fulfillment. Take a deep breath. Welcome home.
Hello, radiant beings. Welcome back to the Aura Evolution Podcast. I'm your host, Helen Yeplan. I'm the founder of Helen Creates Beauty and the author of the Aura Color Wheel. As a result of my work, my clients find and live their soul's purpose with clarity, joy, and fulfillment. I work with spiritual seekers, creatives, and entrepreneurs to reclaim their inner radiance, connect with your spirit teams, and channel your full spectrum of light into purpose and beautiful soul expressions. So, are you ready to unlock your soul's purpose with me today? So I took a break last week for spring break in Hawaii with my family. It was a wonderful trip. But I've learned something from a soul level that we need to live with nature's cycles and surrender our plan. Because in Hawaii currently it's experiencing like the 20-year never seen flood. So literally we arrive after the flood, right? So everything is still kind of rebuilding. And when we arrive in Maui, when we're in Big Island, everything was fine. We got nice weather. But when we arrive in Maui, the rain hit. So that's when I need to surrender all my travel plans to nature and find our flow. I kind of like surrender of what we have planned. Our helicopter tour was canceled due to the rain. But I was still grateful that we get to do the whale watching in the rain, as well as doing a drive-through to Road to Hana in Maui rather than the helicopter tour. So that's something that I learned, and it's the theme that a couple weeks ago in the Aura Evolution podcast, I mentioned about as our soul grow and evolve, we also need to surrender to our own soul's rhythm or divine timing. Sometimes it's not everything according to our plan. It's about surrendering and let go of control. And that's actually last 2 weeks ago when our guest, Nicole Bigley, when we talk about how to connect with our spirit guides, it's also about how we can, let go of our expectations when we connect with our spirit team and ask for guidance, rather than setting a particular timeline of, okay, now I'm praying to my spirit guide, I need to hear an answer by a certain time. I wish that happens, but it's not like that, right? So if you feel called to deepen your soul's evolution journey, to really discover who you are at a soul level, and peeling out all these social conditioning, parents' expectations, as well as what is the societal standards and all of these, and really know yourself at a soul level, as well as living in alignment with your soul's cosmic blueprint without rushing it, pushing it, planning on it, I welcome you to join me in the Aura Evolution Sanctuary. It's a sacred membership. We have monthly gatherings on the first day of the month at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And of course, you are going to access all the recording lifetime if you cannot participate live. Now, this gathering, when we gather and pray together, our energy amplifies. And we are in the community to support each other on our soul's evolution journey. And right now, I am running a promotion for the first month free. So that way you can experience the magic with us. I am going to put a link in the chat, in the comment, so that you can join us. Check out the community. It's my sacred offering that guided by my spirit team. And each month, it's an archangel. I channel one archangel and guided by my spirit team of what the theme is. And we're going to practice that particular tool. Like, for example, in April, we talk about exactly what I'm going to discuss today about how to live in accordance with your natural rhythm. Like your for red aura layer, it's Ayurveda. Basically we need to take good care of our physical body, and of course emotional body, as well as mental body and spiritual body. So like the different aura layers of the energy hygiene. And last month we talked about how to connect with our spirit team, as well as how we can quantum jump to that particular identity that we want to embody, that particular soul gift archetype that we can fully embody that. So if you feel the call or the nudge to fully embody your gift and face your shadows, to heal all your ancestral inner child as well as karmic patterns, those are your soul wounds, I invite you to join us in this community. And I'm there answering questions all the time, of course, on our virtual community. Okay, great. So before we dive into this week's topic, I want to let you know that this podcast is live across all my social platforms on Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So if you are watching live with me, you're welcome to ask me any questions in regards to what we're discussing, this particular topic, right? And of course, you can always leave me comments after you watch the recording. And all the audios are available on any platforms that you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, as well as Amazon Music. And before we begin, I have a very exciting announcement. I will be at the Soul Search Expo in Irvine in the weekend of May 2nd and 3rd. And this event is free to attend if you register in advance. So I'm also going to drop the link for you to register. So Irvine is in Orange County, California. If you live around here, want to spend a weekend, please come join me. It's going to be a gathering. It's called the Enlightenment Expo. So it's a lot of healers, psychics, and channelers are going to be there. Me and Amy Stukowski are going to share a booth that particular weekend in Irvine, both days from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. So, and I will also be doing live spirit message reading there. So we're going to do in-person spirit message reading where I tune into the quantum field and see who are your spirit guides and what messages they have for you currently. So if you want to meet in person, get a copy of the sign or a color wheel book, and also to join my talk. I will be discussing the aura color wheel and how you can unlock your soul's purpose using it at 3 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday, May 2nd. So, and if you cannot join in live, this particular talk will be also live broadcast on their TV station. So it's the Soul Search TV station, live TV station on YouTube, that you can also join me there and ask me any question. So it will be at 3 p.m. Pacific time, May 2nd. So you can either meet me in person or tune in to my talk live on YouTube. So I hope to see you there. And of course, remember, if you have a copy of the Aura Color Wheel book, you get 3 bonuses from me. So it's right here, the Aura Color Wheel book. So the 3 bonuses are First, you get to join the private Facebook group, the Oracle Wheel Circle, where you get to ask me any questions. And we're going to have monthly gatherings there for live Q&A, as well as spirit message reading. And second is you going to receive a personalized feng shui birth element and gua number reading. In this reading, you will understand your feng shui lucky direction for wealth, health, love, and spiritual growth. So all you need to do is to fill out a form. I'm going to also put the link here. So with your birthday information, and I will send you the personalized reading. And lastly, you're going to get $50 off the Rainbow Aura Meditation Bundle. And if you follow along with me in this journey, my spiritual awakening or Kundalini awakening happens after 7 years of my daily meditation. So I want to give the benefit of meditation. In this meditation bundle, you get 49 originally composed solfeggio frequency music. So to raise your vibrational level every single aura layer so that you become radiant and magnetic to attract the right opportunities, synchronicities, and the right people in your life when life begins to flow. Now, talking about flow, we're going to talk about Ayurveda today. So if you have a copy of the Aura Color Wheel book, you know that in chapter 14 of the Aura Color Wheel book, we talk about Ayurveda, and that's on page 224. Now, this is my go-to if you have any physical symptom or physical manifestation of a soul wound. Remember, every chakra or energy center in our body governs a particular area of our body. So if we have physical symptoms, like for me, I had strep throat or nose bleeding, like that's a physical symptom. Or if you have sciatica, that's the physical symptom of the sacral chakra, right? Strep throat, that's the physical symptom of the blue aura layer by the throat chakra. So once you diagnose that you have that particular soul wound in a physical manifestation, Ayurveda and Chinese traditional medicine are actually my go-to method to heal it. Or even though if you don't have any physical symptom right now, right? But you still want to, in general, have your aura to be healthy in general, I still recommend you to try to use Ayurveda on a daily basis just for your general well-being as well. So now, first of all, what is Ayurveda? Ayurveda is just it literally translates, it's a Sanskrit word, it literally translates to the science of life. So it's a traditional Indian medicine, so very similar to the Chinese traditional medicine. It's a way of nature. So what we eat or what we consume in our body, it's the medicine. So instead of taking the modern pills, we also use food as medicine and kind of treat our body depending on our natural constitution or doshas, okay? So there are 3 primary doshas in our physical body. I'm going to share a infographic that I prepare for you so you can understand that a little better. Let me see if I can make this happen. Yes, very good. So now, as you can see, I'm sharing a graphic right now. So those are the 3 primary doshas that I talk about or discuss about in the chapter 14 of the Aura Color Wheel book. Okay, so they are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Now, what does that mean? Those are Sanskrit words. So Vata, it's equivalent to the energy of air and ether. So on the left side, and that's in the blue column, okay? And these people, this type of physical constitution, they tend to be the skinny sometimes I make a joke out of it, no judgment, that I call these people skinny sticks. So they are generally, when they're healthy, and generally balanced, they tend to be slim. Okay. And those are the Hollywood models we all strive for. However, we all composed with Vata, Pitta, and Kapha in different degrees. Okay, so that's the physical form, form with this energy. Now, Vata is equivalent to the energy of the throat chakra and the third eye chakra. Okay, so the blue aura layer and the violet aura layer. So these type of people tend to be very creative. They talk fast, right? They're creative. They like to move and get inspired. They're generally very energetic and they talk really fast. So, and that's also why they have tend to have strong, blue and third eye chakra. So these are the archetypes of the visionary, artist, and entertainer. Okay, so if you are one of those soul gift archetypes, I hope you already have taken the soul aura color quiz, understand your soul gift archetype. You tend to have a Vata constitution as your primary or dominant physical constitution. Now, Vata people tend to have thin and light body, and they're quick moving. Your skin tend to dry and feels cold all the time. Like you feel especially your fingertips and your toes always feel cold, and your hair is dry and thin. Your digestion is irregular, right? You're prone to constipation. It's harder for you to digest. So your energy level is high. You tend to really want to, keep moving, but also get tired quickly. Your mind is very creative, very active, sometimes restless. So this type of constitution is prone to anxiety, okay? And sometimes fear. So sleep is light because you're really active in your mind. So it's really hard for you to sleep. So you tend to suffer from insomnia. And the speech, so you talk really fast. So that's Vata skinny one. Yeah, Caroline, you understand. Caroline is currently tuning in live on Instagram, and she is saying that she can self-identify as the Vata skinny one because of that's her, how she identifies as the description here. Okay. Now, if you want to kind of self-diagnose, I recommend you to go check it out in the Banyan Botanicals. And they have a dosha quiz. I'm also going to drop the link here. So it's called the Banyan Botanicals. Okay, so let me post the link. I'm not associated with this particular. So Avocado Toast was saying that she is Kapha. Good. I'm so glad you kind of can identify who yourself is. So this quiz that I have taken it, and I have recommended some of my students and clients taken it. It's quite informative to understand what is your primary type. For example, I think I'm mostly Pitta and some Kapha. Okay. However, depending on the seasonal change, your Vata, Pitta, and Kapha can be elevated. For example, right now we're in spring season. Spring and fall fall in the Vata season. So during this season, even though your primary dosha are not Vata, you still might have Vata elevated because right now we are in that particular season. I hope you understand what I mean. So you might prone to constipation, for example. You might prone to more, highly active mind, thinking, overthinking, or anxious. That's the Vata trait. Okay, so that's more prone because it's more, the air is a little bit more dry, and the wind is blowing, right? So now the second, primary dosha is called Pitta. Now Pitta, the constitution is fire and water. Okay, fire and water. So that's equivalent to the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra. Okay, in terms of energy, how the energy compares, right? So Pitta people tend to be very direct and very focused, and they are the intense type. I am majority Pitta person. Now, this particular dosha has like the entrepreneur, reformer, and warrior soul gift archetypes tend to have primary Pitta dosha. So Caroline was saying that you are the creative type. She embodied the artist and the entertainer soul gift archetype. See, this is like the energy cannot lie. So like identifying your body's primary dosha is going to help you to understand your how to take good care of your body. Okay, because remember, your red aura layer powered by the root chakra, so that's your physical body, that's the most inner layer of your aura layer, need to be taken good care of in order for you to expand your aura. Okay, so that's why, you know, understanding it, knowing yourself, it's enlightenment, just like Lao Tzu once said. It's about understanding how to take good care of yourself, what type of food you should eat, how do you exercise to, you know, that's fitted for your body, right? So we're talking about the Pitta soul gift archetype. Now, Pitta people typically is medium build. They tend to have more muscle, and their body temperature is tend to be warm. So basically, they feel hot most of the time. Okay, and they are, you know, the skin is tend to have fair skin, reddish, and prone to freckles and moles. Sometimes it's oily and prone to acne. So if you have acne, you know, like me, sometimes I do, especially in the T-zone, you know, oily. That's one of the signs. And your hair tend to be thin, fine, and often, sometimes if you see it in men, it's that they have prematurely balding. So like in the center, there is no hair, basically. So that's all early gray. I already have all gray hair, so I need to dye my hair, you know, pretty much like every month. So that's the sign, you know, one of the sign that you can understand that your dosha might be primarily Pitta. Your digestion is strong. You have strong appetite, and but can sometimes suffer from heartburn or ulcer. And also, when your Pitta is highly elevated, you might tend to have prone to diarrhea. So it's the opposite of Vata. Vata tend to have constipation, Pitta tend to have diarrhea. So Pitta will be elevated during summer when it's hot, when the season is hot. No matter you have Pitta or not as your primary dosha, you still get, you know, Pitta elevated during summer season. Now, Pitta people tend to have a very focused and sharp mind. They are decisive, they talk direct, and sometimes can be irritable or angry. So they get prone to get anger. All right. So their sleep is moderate. You know, the 6 to 8 hours sleep kind of thing. That's like the Pitta person usually it's having, and they are really direct, articulate, and sharp. So these are the Pitta people, and they are the, you know, entrepreneur, reformer, warrior. So the next energy archetype or the dosha is Kapha. Now, Kapha people, they are really good huggers, I would say. It feels really good to hug a Kapha because they are the earth and water element. So it feels like Mother Gaia. So earth and water element, and that in terms of energy, it's very similar to the root chakra as well as sacral chakra. Okay, the divine feminine. So they tend to have a bigger build, right? So we'll call it, they have a little meat. So that's why when you hug them, you feel so good, right? So they tend to be, their body type tend to be a little bit larger, heavier, or more solid. And their skin tend to be more oily, smooth, and cooling. Okay, so like healer, for example, healer, researcher, teacher, tend to primarily have a Kapha, you know, body type. So these people have slower metabolism. So that's why the appetite is slower, but it's a steady appetite. So they have excellent stamina, but tend to become lazy and reluctant to change. It's harder for them to change. Now, their mind is calm and patient. They're the most patient out of 3 primary doshas, and also loving. It can be lethargic and sometimes just like slow or hard to change. The sleep is deep and prolonged. Like they can sleep until 10 hours easy. And they tend to speak slowly, steadily, and very soothing. They tend to have a soothing voice. And their hair is always luxurious, like really smooth, wavy, thick, and luxurious. And that's the type of how it looks in terms of body type of Kapha people. Now, there is no good or bad about anything, just like soul gift archetypes. We're just born with a particular type of body. That's why it's important for us to take good care of our body according to our body type. So once you understand or you self-diagnose what your body type is, now if you are interested in getting deeper into it, you can also find a local practitioner to diagnose you. You can do a self-diagnose, because like from the description, hopefully you could already like kind of gauge 80 or 90% who you are after taking the quiz in the link that I just shared. So if you still want to get deeper into it, you can find a local Ayurveda practitioner. I personally get certified in the Kerala Ayurveda Academy. It's in Northern California. So on their website, they have certified practitioners. I'm going to share their website. It's called the Kerala Ayurveda Academy. So on their website, you can find out who are the certified practitioners that's around your area. So if you want to see one, so it's similar to Chinese traditional medicine. They will take your pulse, look at your tongue to diagnose. So it will be a little bit more in depth, right? So, and then if you want to have an ongoing protocol in terms of diet, exercise, and massage, cooking, and all of these, they can help you a little bit more into that. Now, if you just want to begin learning a little bit on your own, the Banyan Botanicals is a great online resource that you can check it out. I'm going to share my screen here, so that way you can see where you can find more resources for you. Let me see, share screen. Okay. Okay, here we go. So here's the screen I want to share. So this is the Banyan Botanical quiz that I just mentioned. Now, if you go to their homepage, under the tab, it says Learn Ayurveda. Under this particular tab, you are able to see Ayurvedic diet, daily routines, and seasonal guides. Now, you don't have to get their, herbs. I sometimes do take them when I need to balance, my Pitta when it's elevated. But it's generally good to kind of learn a little bit. So like, for example, under Ayurvedic diet, if you are, say a Vata person, you want to eat more Vata balancing foods. So you can go in there and you can understand, oh, these are good foods for me, like avocado, beets, dates, peach, white rice, pistachios, sweet potatoes, watercress. Actually, that's my favorite food. Watercress, red lentils, right? So you understand, okay, so what you should eat more of and what you should avoid, right? Because watermelon is a cooling food. So that's why if you are Vata, you're already cooling. So that's why it's not recommended. Now, Vata is the dosha that I highly not recommend you eat raw salad. So because it's raw salad is a very cooling food that you should avoid, because naturally you already have a lot of cooling feature. So under here, under Ayurvedic diet, you can also see, Pitta balancing food, right? These are the food that I take the most. Like watermelon, cilantro, coconut. I had a lot of coconut juice when I was in Hawaii. So that's one of my favorite foods, because we want cooling foods, because Pitta people are naturally hot, or they feel a lot of body heat in general. That's why it's good for them to eat watermelon, right? So now here listed a lot of good food for Pitta, and same goes to Kapha. So, and Kapha people, I highly recommend you to drink warm liquid, because you're also cooling. However, you also can do fasting, like intermittent fasting. But for Pitta people, it's not recommended to do fasting at all, because you have really strong metabolism. So if you fast, it's really hard. You get like basically cranky. So I also do not recommend you to skip meals as well, especially for Pitta people. You should have a regular, 3 meals a day time of schedule to eat, and maybe some snacks kind of in between, right? So that's how you take good care of your body, because depending on your particular constitution. So in my Aura Color Wheel book on page 226, I listed out all the recommendations depending on your primary dosha, like what you can eat and what type of food to avoid, as well as how to diagnose the symptoms when your particular, particular dosha is kind of elevated. It's even though you don't have Vata, but if you have constipation, then you understand that, okay, so now my Vata is elevated. So when my Vata is elevated, I want to eat warm and cooked food, meaning cooked, not raw. So that's why I would try to avoid salad, right? So like I'm talking about soup, it's really good for Vata, stews, casseroles. And then I will use olive oil, coconut oil generously. You can use ghee if you like to try, Indian oil. That's what they cook with, ghee. And then sweet, sour, and salty are really good for Vata people, as well as all kinds of grains and warm beverage like tea, right? And milk and spice tea. Now, foods to avoid for Vata are raw vegetables, as I mentioned, cold salad, dry foods like cracker, it's not good for Vata, as well as carbonating drinks. I would definitely avoid that as well when your Vata is elevated, or when you're born with a Vata dosha primarily. Now, in the other hand, for Pitta people, if you, so Pitta people is already kind of warm and hot. So what's really good for you is salad is good for you. You want cool and refreshing food. So raw vegetables, cooling food like melon and cucumber. All kinds of melon, including watermelon, as well as cucumber, they're cooling food. Cilantro, they're cooling food. So if you raise in a culture, in an Asian culture, you can understand that, because I was born and raised in China, we actually associate with different kind of food a temperature. Just like in Spanish language, you have male and female for everything. For Asian culture, we have cooling or hot food assigned with every food. So like melon and cucumber, they are the cooling food. That's why it's good for Pitta people. So sweet Bitter and astringent taste is also good for you, for Pitta people, including sweet fruits, leafy greens. I love leafy greens. So moderate use of spice. You shouldn't eat too, salty or too, spicy. Especially try to avoid spicy food. Because Pitta people love spicy food. However, that's not good for you. That'll just make you go to more diarrhea in general. So hydration, drink plenty of water. Coconut water is ideal for you, as well as herbal tea. Now, foods to avoid: salty and spicy food, sour food, ginger. Okay, so this I really want to put it out there. Ginger in modern society, on the Western society, is considered good for everything. It's like, oh, if I have a cold, it's almost like the medicine for any sickness or any illness. However, I do not recommend ginger for Pitta dosha people. So if you are a Pitta person like me, I absolutely try to avoid ginger when you're feeling extremely cold. So if you feel like you are having a extremely cold, and like fingertips and toes are really frozen, then I would try ginger. Otherwise, because of your body's constitution, it's not recommended that you use ginger over too much in general. It will just get your throat even more hurt. It will elevate your heat in general. So try to avoid alcohol. Also, alcohol is not good. And caffeine, like too much caffeine, is not good for Pitta, as well as fire on oily food, like McDonald's. Definitely don't try it, or French fries. Anything that's fried. If you really like fried food, try air fryer, right? So those are not really recommended for Pitta dosha. And for Kapha, on the other hand, Kapha people are cooling, in general. And so what you would recommend to try is light and dry food, like steamed vegetables. Light green is really good for Kapha people. Bitter, pungent, and astringent taste, including ginger, is really good for Kapha people. So Kapha people want spice because they are already cold, right? So you want the black pepper, turmeric, ginger. If you are Kapha dosha, those are healthy for you, but it's not recommended for Pitta people. Now, warm and spicy food is good for Kapha people. So plenty of spices and limited use of oil, because Kapha people already have significant amount of body oil or body fat stored. So it's ideally lightly used in oil. Sunflower oil, flaxseed oil are really good. And also drink warm water and herbal tea. Avoid cold drinks for Kapha. So foods to avoid is like heavy, oily, and fatty food, and dairy products like milk. It's actually not recommended for Kapha people because it's mucus inducing. So Kapha tend to elevate it during winter season. So no matter you have Kapha in your body constitution or not, during winter we all experience those mucus, like completely clogged. Sometimes we need to use neti pot to get rid of all the mucus in our nasal passage. That's Kapha increasing. So that's why eating sugary food or dairy products like cheese and milk is just going to generate more mucus in your system. That's why for Kapha people, it's not recommended to use too much dairy or sugary food. So those are like kind of the basics of different dosha, what type of energy, and what you need to look out for during different season. I hope this is informative for you, or inspire you to get started to take good care of your physical health in your daily life. Now, it's also in Ayurveda, it's also recommended that you use different oil for your massage. So like coconut oil, for example, is a very cooling oil. So that's really good for Pitta dosha. I personally love coconut oil because it's cool your whole body. And sunflower seed, it works really well for Kapha people. And sesame oil is very warming. Sesame oil actually is really helpful for Vata people. So if you feel like you're prone to anxiety, worry about things, overthinking, and want to kind of ground yourself down or calm down, sesame oil is like self-massage yourself with sesame oil. You'll feel that warmth all over your body. That's also really helpful as well. So like in general, if you are not 100% sure, I highly recommend you to either check out Banyan Botanicals. I just threw out the links there, or as well as find a local Ayurveda practitioner. And okay, so Caroline is saying that sesame is not so keen because she doesn't like the smell as much. Yeah, I understand. That's a very warming oil. Actually, it's really good for Kapha and Vata people. So if you don't like the smell as much, you can mix with another another smell, like another scent. You can add some essential oil into sesame oil, so that whatever essential oil that you prefer to smell, like lavender or eucalyptus or something that you like to smell of, you can put a little drip, because sesame oil, sunflower oil, as well as coconut oil, they are the carrier oils. So you can mix with other essential oils to make it smell nice. Okay, if you don't like that particular carrier oil, but it's a recommendation, especially for when we are balancing our own dosha, taking good care of our body. Now, especially if you have soul wounds in your red or orange aura layer, that's like your kapha, basically the kapha connection. So that you want to using diet and as well as massage oil that's good for the kapha dosha. Same with if you have yellow and green aura layer soul wounds that you're healing, that's related to the pitta dosha, that you would like to using the same diet accordingly. Same with Vata. So if you have third eye and throat chakra issues, that's the air and the ether energy. You want to be careful of what's good for this particular archetype. Jojoba oil is a general carrier oil. It's not particularly good for any. It's almost like it's neutral. Let me put it that way. So that's not a specific dosha specific oil. That's a general oil for carrier oil for essential oil blend. So jojoba oil, because it's abundant, so it uses in many different essential oil blends. Ayurveda. I just also want to make sure that it's basically ideal for all three doshas as well. And that's actually in Banyan Botanicals. I find that particular website really informative. So if you want to dive a little bit deep into that, definitely go check that out. And of course, this month's Aura Evolution Sanctuary, literally, we're talking about how to use this knowledge in your daily life. And the community is discussing different ways that we can use in our daily life. So if you want to join us, you're welcome to get into the community. And right now I'm running the first month free promotion. I just dropped the link in the chat, so I hope to see you there. And for those of you who had joined us a little bit later, I also have an event coming in Irvine in the weekend of May 2nd and 3rd. So that's in Orange County. I hope to see you there on May 2nd at 3 p.m. I'm going to have a talk on how to unlock your soul's purpose using the aura color wheel. And it's also going to be live stream on their TV channel. So it's the Soul Search TV. I'm going to also drop a link on here. In case you cannot join me in person, you can tune in to the live TV channel and ask me questions over there as well. And this event is actually free to participate if you make a registration in advance. And Amy Siukowski and I will be there for those 2 days, and I will be doing in-person spirit message reading. It will be super cool. So if you want a signed copy of your book, the Flowing with Your Rainbow Chakra Affirmation deck, it's all my original paintings with channel messages. It will be available there for sign and for sale as well. And of course, some of my crystal grid paintings and original creations when I channel through my meditation vision. So I hope to see you there. Otherwise, if you have purchased the Aura Color Wheel book, I will have a live Q&A for the Aura Color Wheel Circle next Thursday. So I will see you there. But next Monday, of course, as usual, I will be live here on my podcast at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And we're going to talk about how to use crystals to cleanse, protect, and balance your aura health. Because that's one of my favorite ways using crystal. Like during this trip, I also bring my crystal travel toolkit with me. So you can understand how to use crystals in a practical way. Okay, so I want to see if there is any other questions regarding what we talk about today. Otherwise, I will see you next Monday. And you are welcome to put it in the comment of any questions that you want to ask me about. Charlotte saying thank you on Instagram. Well, thank you for joining me live today. I hope you two have a really blissful rest of your week and using Ayurveda knowledge to balance your physical aura layer so that you can become a radiant being to attract synchronicity, the right people, and the opportunities in your life. See you next Monday. Bye, everyone.